Okay, hi everybody, it's me, Bankai922. It's Sunday. Gachiakuta. It's hard to say that name. Anyway, last week we had the conclusion of the fight. You know, with Jabber saying a few words. Oh, that's part of a series. With concerns with Rudo's gloves. Now, major developments in this episode. Um, First of all, Rudo thought Gris was dead. No, he's not. And we made a whole big joke about it, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. We do get a shocking revelation towards the end of this episode where we finally see the boss of the Raiders. It does not seem to be Udo's fault. I thought it was, based on the whole gist of it, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. Now, majority of the episode, he's talking to Engine eventually, beginning the episode. Rudo says, I'm always going to be like this, saying that he doesn't save anyone, and he's always trying to do something good, and it doesn't pan out that way. Then, of course, the rug gets pulled from his feet, and Riz is alive. So that was a joke. But he feels bad for using his item, the hand thing. But Chris says as long as it was of service to you, then it was worth it. We got introduced to another characters. We also get the commander of the cleaners. He shows up, and we get another character. So mostly the leader of the cleaners is Corvus. This big, Afro guy, looking guy. He's the boss of the cleaners, and he before that happens, we get introduced to another character also, whose name is, my apologies, hopefully I'm saying this right, Stilza. Well, Stilza is a giver who is with healing. So that's how Gris survived. She was able to heal him and bring him back. Now, Corvus brings Rudo back to his office and gives him his new uniform for cleaners and explains to him there is a woman who lives in No Man's Land, the central area of No Man's Land, because it explains between the sphere and the ground is the border area. And supposedly this woman knows how to get past that and go back to the sphere. Now he explains this to him and so on and so forth, and after a conversation, he tries to go there and they stop him. And then the rest of the episode is basically kind of a weird thing. They train him. Then there's this whole funny montage of him going with Reaper, seeing all the different facilities at the headquarters, and she shows him sweets. He just eats gorgeous on sweets, and he becomes fat. He loses the weight though. Next scene, he loses the weight, and then we find out the nitty gritty with his powers. So his powers as a giver are basically this. His ability only works on garbage. More importantly, items that are broken that he wants to get fixed. So we have there was a doll there that he grabbed and he was able to turn into an item. This triangle looking thing, he was able to do the same thing. This teapot. So those items he's able to turn. Now, however, there is a limit. Because he did all three, and he got a nosebleed. So there's a limit to how many items he can do this for. And more importantly, what they find out also is that the reason why Griss's emblem turned to dust is because it served its purpose. Basically, it serves its purpose to Rudo, and after it serves its purpose, it just turns to dust. That's the whole gimmick of that. Now, they go through the whole training montage with him about this and how you can go from there. Now, after we have that scene, we shift to the Raiders. And we see Jabber, we see that little kid again. And then we get introduced to the boss. Now, he mentions the Watchmen series. So I don't know what that means. I believe that's the one glove that he has, Rudo. The Watchmen series. And he mentions Rudo by name. Now, at first, I thought, okay, this is... No. I already looked it up. It's not his father. Sorry, I mean, only... I mean, when you look at the guy, it clearly isn't. It clearly isn't his father. I thought it was. Now, what I might be entailed to say is that maybe this guy orchestrated what happened in the sphere. But I'm going to say no. Overall, I thought this was a good episode. Not a lot happened. But I would definitely give this like an 8.5 to a 9. Based on what happened, based on what we're given. And so now, basically, Rudo's all in. He's been initiatized. He's got a uniform. He's ready to go with the cleaners. So, this woman is a key indicator of how he can go back to the sphere. Now, based on the situation and based on what I'm seeing, the boss is going to get more involved of the Raiders. He's going to get more involved. He has some kind of fascination with Rudo. I think it's just because he's from the sphere. I think that's what it really is about. And that's why he's so fixated on him. But overall, like I said, pretty good episode. We got some answers. We finally see the commanding boss of the cleaners. We see the boss of the Raiders. And we get some understanding of with Rudo's power. So not too bad of an episode. Mostly exposition, but it's good exposition. So I don't really have anything else to say. It was decent. You know, good animation, the same spiel. I thought the whole thing with anything sweet, that was funny. And, you know, now basically, yeah, eventually he's going to go into the, not alone though, he's going to go into no man's land with Engine and a bunch of other people and find this woman. So, we'll see how that goes. But until then, that's all I got for you guys. Bonkai 22, and I will see you guys later.